Welcome back to Midday Kentucky. Well, people in North and South Carolina are still feeling the effects of Florence, and the Bluegrass also face some serious flooding from all that rain. Tawanda from the Red Cross is here to talk about how we personally can help. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me today.
You know, it's so hard to see these images. They're just harrowing, the destruction and the damage going on in areas so close to us, and not be able to actually maybe do anything physical. But there's so many ways that Red Cross makes it possible for us to help. How are you helping Florence victims?
So currently the storms happened nearly 2 weeks ago, and we're still experiencing the devastation from those storms. So there are about 1,700 people that are still displaced. So they're in shelters in North and South Carolina. When we support the Carolinas, we send volunteers. So we have about 60 or 70 volunteers from our area that are there helping. We also did a telethon with you guys last week where we raised some money to send financial resources there. So we help with shelter, we help with feeding, and we help with volunteers, and we help with finances.
There's so many aspects to a storm like that if you've never been through one or a natural disaster like that, you don't know. It's the aftermath, and that's when the news cameras leave, when we're not seeing all of the coverage of what's actually happening. It's going back to your home and dealing with the consequences of such a horrible situation. How can we help?
So I'll tell you, right now we are in need of volunteers that have a mental health background, because as you said, there's trauma that happens. So you lose everything and you have to go back to your home, you have to go back to your area. We're looking for volunteers that have a mental health background. So if you have a mental health background, you can get trained and come to the Red Cross. Thank you. And help us out. So we're looking for volunteers that are able to help in that capacity. So you can go to redcross.org to help in that way.
All right, so that there is a way that we can help. We've even talked to some people that were heading down to the Carolinas during our telethon, and what a great outreach from the public we had. How much of our donations that go from that telethon, or even anytime you go online and click to the Red Cross, actually goes to disaster victims?
So we honor donor intentions. So if you say you want your dollars to go to the hurricane, then we give those dollars to the hurricane. If you say you want your dollars to stay here locally in our area, then we'll keep those dollars locally. But of every dollar that's raised, 91 cents goes to support the services that we provide.
That's amazing. So you can actually choose where your money goes.
Absolutely.
Well, let's talk about Red Cross. You obviously are helping Florence victims, but you're also helping victims right here in our area. What's going on?
So our everyday disasters are home fires. So every day we're out there responding to home fires. We're also responding to flooding. Right now we have a little bit of flooding that's happening in Cynthiana that we're responding to. We've responded to fires every single day. Last year about 1,300 fires. So we're always looking for volunteers to help us with those response needs. So we're right there with the first responders, providing financial assistance, providing comfort kits, and providing cleanup kits for our home fire victims.
So if somebody wants to get involved with that, do they also need a mental health background, or can anybody volunteer for this?
So we accept all volunteers, and there is training that's required. Right now we're in need of volunteers to help us as disaster responders. So if you want to become a Red Cross volunteer, you can go to our website and sign up, and we'll get you trained, and we'll get you ready to respond to everyday fire or a natural disaster.
That's great to know, because so often on the news we do a story on a fire and we only get to say a quick blurb that the family has been displaced, but Red Cross is helping them. So to hear what you actually do and hear that we can get involved and help is very, very comforting.
Yes, absolutely. We're providing financial assistance to those fire victims. We help them with housing. We help them with cleanup. So that's what we do every day.
Amazing, and we all appreciate what you do. Let's pull that information back up. There you go, redcross.org. Is that where people can go to donate and volunteer?
Absolutely.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for all you do. Thanks for being here a couple weeks ago doing our telethon. It went great, and we appreciate you here. Hopefully some of you feel inspired to help Red Cross, because you just never know when the shoe's going to be on the other foot.
Absolutely.